Let's click on live chat. Hi, 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 hi. Hi, hi, hi. I am gonna redo the review for this. The video I did the other day was not good quality, and so I am going to chat about this book again. I don't know why. Let's see. I like that better. That's normal. Hi. Here we go. I haven't been live in a while. I did go live last time and I did not like the video or sound quality. So hopefully everyone can hear me okay. I am having me a little drink. So you might hear some rumbling and thundering in the background, and that's because it is raining. It is raining where I am at. It is raining. So today we're going to be talking about Ambrosia's Book of Witchflight, Traveling the Other World by Jasmine Ambrosia. She's a fellow YouTuber. She is here on YouTube. Let's see if I can share this. We're going to copy link. Right. Let's share copy link. I don't know why. Hi, Deb. All right. Okay. I was thinking if the same thing was happening like last time. I don't know why the first video like it uploaded and then it said it was set to privacy settings and then it like went kaboom and I lost the file and it deleted. This was a few days ago. So I am going to redo the review on Ambrosia's Book of Witchflight, Traveling the Other World by Jasmine Ambrosia. Hi, Bob. And and yes, she does have a YouTube channel. This is her book, which I love. I love, love, love this book. If you are into any type of witch flight, right? So Witchflight, you might have heard it be called different things, right? It involves astral projection. There's shamanic journeying. Uh, there's another name for it. There's a few names, other few names for it. You know, depending on certain traditions and stuff like that. But witch flight refers to traveling the other world. So, uh, my specific way that I travel successfully, and for some of you, you've learned the same way, has been through the nematon, and my nematon door is a way that I connect to the other world, right? And so witch flight consists of different things, right? Also, it can include shape shifting and things like that, which we will talk about because I am going to flip through the book and then I'm gonna give you guys uh, the parts of the book where I connect. Okay, so first I want to start by reading the back of the book, but before I start, I just want to say that this is not the be all end all book of Witchflight. It is Ambrosia's book of Witchflight. It is Jasmine's book. It is her experiences through Witchflight, and she gives us what she's learned and how she connects with it in her path. And so uh, she's shared that with us, and I think it's amazing. I've been collecting books for a very long time. I My path learned by reading books when I was 13, 14 years old. I'm 35 now, so you could do the math, and so it's not often that we get someone's personal experiences in their craft and who they've grown to be and what they've grown to connect with, right? And I feel like that's part of like our community and our people. Like we've shared so much with each other, and I can't picture it any other way. Each of us are different. Each of us have something else to bring to the table. Each of us have our own essence, our own energy. Hi, Mel and Mark. And so I love that this is Jasmine's personal gnosis. Uh, UPG, I believe, is called unverified personal gnosis. I don't like the whole unverified part of it because I feel like because of my connection to her personal gnosis, I feel it's more of a shared gnosis now. Or it's becoming, a lot of people have been identifying with this book. You can get this through Amazon. This was independently published by Jasmine, and this is she. I'm gonna read the back of the book real quick, okay? Jasmine is a dedicated and passionate witch, educator, high priestess, business owner, and content creator. She creates occult related content centered around witchcraft and the left hand path, and leads the Solar Court Coven as their high priestess. Ambrosia's Book of Witchflight is a work of personal gnosis. Within the book, you will find tips and tricks for traveling to other worlds via witchflight. Jasmine shares her very real experiences, allowing you to see the other world from her eyes. This book was created between worlds and brings an essence of liminality to the work. You will also find a multitude of resources in this book, including recipes, rituals, prayers, and the ever impressive Liber Spiritus, which is the spirit book, and her spirit book. So there's so much in this book that I love. Just so you guys know. There's so much that I connect with, and even the stuff that are new to me, I am excited to continue diving into it. I have devoured the book. And I read it 3 full times, and then a fourth time going back and like have like little spaces where I have a lot of things to talk about. Hi. Hi, little dandelion. I'm happy to see you. I haven't been on in forever. I haven't been on in a very long time. I moved back to Florida. I've been down here for like what 2 years already. Again, yeah, it's good to see you. All right, so Ambrosia's Book of Witchflight. I'm gonna start by talking about my experiences with Witchflight, right? So Witchflight can consist of, like I said, traveling to the other world. There's different ways that you can get there, we have options in this book on different ways on how to get there as well, and we will talk about those. My in my personal practice, I have worked with flying ointment before, and through meditation, visualization, and meditation as well. And through my nematon and accessing my inner sacred space and my nematon door, I'm able to connect to Yggdrasil or the Tree of Life, and through there, I am able to travel the other world. And so, keep that in mind because I will be bringing that up. Hi, Lady Blind Wolf. By the way, if you're wondering who's snoring, I have my baby girl over here. And yeah, she's just snoring away. She is snoring away. Yeah, it's been a long time. All right, so chapter one talks a little bit about Jasmine's journey and how she got to writing this book. Chapter two. So chapter two talks about the witch's fetch. I love the artwork, by the way. Love, love, love. This is such a good read. The text is pretty big, which is good. If you don't like teeny tiny letters or font, I feel like it is almost like sitting down and having a conversation with Jasmine. Like it's like literally sitting down with a friend and just chatting, um, and 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 her telling you, what her path stands for and her practice and all of that. It's really intriguing, and I'll also be talking about after this book some more books that I just recently got to continue my delving into the Witch's Sabbath and the Flight, Witch Flight, and Flying Ointment and stuff like that. Oh, I'm sorry, Lady Blind Wolf. That's so sad. Hi, Emma. That's so sad. My baby big and fat. I love her. That's so sad. We've lost. So we used to have. We're down to three now in the house, including her. We used to have like six, and I think like during the pandemic or like prior to the pandemic, we lost three of them. Like the same year. It's Poppy. Go get him. Go get him, girl. Go get him. Go get him. Give me 1 second, guys. They get crazy. Hi, Mikey. So I don't know if I'm allowed to share, but I will say there's a story here by written by someone called Monk that I love. We moved and the manager got us a pup. Oh, that's awesome. This book is really, really good, guys. So we start with the witch's fetch, right? And that is your familiar, right? It's another word for familiar. The fetch is your familiar animal, your spirit animal. I've heard people call them totem animals, animal spirit, animal guides. And so she talks here about the fetch and goes on to giving us a shape shifting ritual. Now, shape shifting does go hand in hand with flight, witch flight or traveling, because in the process of you shape shifting, you are like bouncing your spirit out of your body, right? It's an out of body experience, and so you're pushing your spirit out of your body, transforming into something else, or changing your shape, correct? And so automatically that like throws you into like the flight part, because it's more of like, if you're right now your astral body, right, or your spirit body, my human body's just laying here and my spirit body comes out. It is then where I am in that liminal space, right, where in that liminal space is where I get to travel the other world. Put one in the freezer for me. All right. Great book. I'm not gonna give you guys the rituals and the chants in here now. You gotta get the book. Please, if you get this book, also give Jasmine an Amazon review, because we are relying on those in order to get like the word out and stuff like that. It is a great, great book. Like I said, Jasmine Ambrosia is a fellow YouTuber, and she's all in all social medias, including TikTok. And so, because this is independently produced, um, she needs lots of reviews. So let's get her reviews, because this book is awesome. Uh, so chapter 3 talks is called Afraid of Heights. This talks about any struggles and different levels of visualization that some people have, right? So it talks about like if you can picture or visualize, right? And visualization can go with many things, not just traveling, but it can go with manifestation as well. Like, for example, if I'm trying to manifest something, I want to visualize that already happening, or you want to visualize yourself already having whatever it is you want. Okay? And so here she recognizes, that some people do struggle with that and can struggle with that. And so there's some exercises and some personal notes here on how to deal with things like that if you're having a hard time. I have one. I'm not. I have like videos from like maybe like over a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I don't really. So what was I saying? Oh, I have like videos from 2 years ago on there. I'm not really like on there. I would like people to like follow me on there, because I'm not able to go live till I have 1,000 followers there, you know. But I'm on it in and out, I'm just not like a TikTok person. I could do Instagram. I love Instagram and stuff, but TikTok is just like too much. Yes, it's 25 right now on Amazon. Yes, yes, yes. So, after giving us the exercises and stuff like that on how to help us open up to be able to visualize and stuff like that, we go into chapter 4, which is about mirrors, and how to use the witch's black mirror. It's called mirror jumping, is the name of the chapter. And so here is another technique, right? That's technique number 2 on traveling through using the mirror as a tool, and it's called mirror jumping, right? And it's a doorway, it's a portal. Can't blame you. TikTok is a mess at times. Yeah. Chapter 5, Jasmine speaks about the Axis Mundi, and this is the witch's tree. And so this is where I immediately connect through my Witchflight experience, through my Nematon, and connecting to my sacred space, my Nematon, and traveling through the other world and coming across this ancient tree, right? And and we've seen it as Yggdrasil in Norse mythology, Tree of Life. Like the tree is very very important, and so the tree plays very big part in the other world. It plays a part where it's a place where witches of all kinds meet. For me, I picture it as a crossroads, right? It's almost like a train station where different people just travel through, right? It's just a point where they travel through, right? And that's the way I picture it. You travel through this tree. You could travel down to roots, through the trunk, up the branches, and then you have your underworlds or lower realms. You have your middle realms, and then you have your upper worlds or higher realms. That's the way I picture it, right? And again, you can identify this with however you picture it as well. But that's my experience connecting to the witch's tree from my Nemeton. And so there's a chapter here about the witch's tree and how you connect through it. For me, in the other world, so if you're trying to map out the world, you have the the tree of life, right, which is like almost like the universe, the beyond, the entirety of it. And then you have the four realms, which is your elemental realms. It is your earth, air, fire, water realms. Okay, and we'll talk a little bit about those in a little bit. So from there on, we have a little bit of journaling as well, like personal experience and accounts from Jasmine's practice and stuff like that, which is really, really cool. Chapter 6 talks about the hollowed woods. And so the hollowed woods is a, a, a place, right? It is a woodland. It is like a magic forest, the way I can picture it, right? And so it is ever changing and stuff like that. It is a place where you will find that some things might not make sense. Like you'll see different species of trees next to each other that you would never see anywhere else like that. Like so it's definitely a very magical and enchanted world. It could also be treacherous and you know unforgiving as well. Um, and so it's very very neat. This book would also be great, which Jasmine talks about a little bit. I think on her channel, for anyone that's a fan of like D&D or like RPG games. Is that the right term? Where you have to like build your own world and stuff like that. This would be like a really like cool cool thing because it goes hand in hand with all that. So chapter 7 talks about the witch's devil, right? The horn god. And so it goes into talks about the witch's Sabbath, where the witch's flights the Sabbath, right? It's since medieval times or since whenever the Inquisition started and stuff like that. You know, this other world where the witches did their magic and danced around the fire, with the devil leading the ceremony, and so I have definitely started looking and studying more about the horn god and specifically because I just feel like horned gods have been around for a very very long time, right? And so it's just one of those other things that of course the church has demonized, just like they demonized Lilith and other pagan deities and stuff like that, even though Lilith is not pagan. Lilith was the first woman created before Eve, but that's a whole other argument. um, but yeah, so I am definitely interested in embracing the horn god and try and explore the concept of what is now being called traditional witchcraft. But even though traditional witchcraft can be like your own tradition, right? Like what is traditional to someone depending on anything. It could be depending on your region, where you're from, your national, like it could be anything. And so it's really cool the fact that they're embracing the horn god as the devil and calling him, the devil. Like, yeah, yes, um, the rebel against everything that wants to tie us down and keep us oppressed. So laying eyes on the devil, it talks about the horn god there, or the devil, if you want to call him that. So saved by blood is I believe it is one of her personal stories. That's chapter 8. Really, really good. Like I said, there's a lot in here. There's even some stories that other people have written and stuff like that. We get an invocation here. Chapter 9 talks about the tree wards. So this is another I love the graphic. Another portal or doorway to the other world that can be used um, as a doorway to the other world. Here you can see the triangle made out of branches hanging off a tree. This is something that you can depending where you're from, you can see things like this sometimes. Jasmine talks about Appalachia a lot, or Appalachia, if I'm pronouncing that correctly or wrongly. I'm sorry. Or Appalachia, I think that's what it's called. Appalachia. And so she talks a little bit about like runic symbols. See, the tree ward example, not in the form of an elemental triangle, but as a folk charm for protection. Your neighbors will feel very unsettled. I love that. So we have a different one here. We have a picture. I love the pictures too here. So chapter 10, the whisper in the woods. That is a ritual. So Jasmine does share a few things that she works with through her coven and stuff like that as well, and like coven experiences and things like that, which I think is awesome. Chapter 11 is dedicated to the Owl Woman, which is a specific spirit that Jasmine worked with, and so through her working with the spirit, this book came about. The Witch Council. The Witch Council might be, just by the image, some of you guys might recognize them. The Witch Council is a group of very ancient, hag-like, like super ancient witches. For me, they are the roots of the tree of life in the other world. They are the pillars to the other world. They hold everything together. They are neutral, right? And then they don't care about anything else pertaining to the safety of the other world and stuff like that. Now, they have a lot of knowledge to share. They're very open-minded as well, as long as you respect them and stuff like that. For me, they are like the ancient coven of the other world, right? Like the tree of life is their tree. It's the tree that they gather around. They are like one in everything with the other world. And so the witch council, there's, I believe, 13 of them, and they go through a concept called the cardinal, the red cardinal. I think red cardinal, but it's the cardinal. And so each moon there's a different cardinal. So one of them steps forward, and for that month, you're able to work through that spirit with that spirit, and get to know them and gain knowledge, otherworldly knowledge. Then she talks about the four kingdoms. I'm not gonna talk a lot about this because again, get the book. But the four kingdoms are right. Each kingdom has a watchtower, and so Mitney, we have Mitney towards the east of the Hollowed Woods. So again, the Hollowed Woods for me is the tree. The tree is the woods that you can run through and all of that. And then you have the four realms surrounding. Then you have Isalia or Isalia, which is the water kingdom. Grydel, and Dokar. And again, you might have traveled to the other world, and once you read through this, because I identified through these, and again, you might not identify with the same name given, but you might identify with the place where it almost comes to you as a memory, at least for me, because I have traveled through meditation and stuff like that. I have some experience through it, so I really did identify with a lot in this book, which I just love. Um, Chapter 18, the six virtues. So in the other world, it is the home to the epicenters of the six cosmic virtues of the primordial energies. And those are chaos, order, life, death, light, and darkness. Chapter 19 talks about the witch's Sabbath and goes into a little bit more in detail on how to work with the devil. So we have a little description about the devil in gold, devil in green, devil in red, and devil in black. That almost reminds me of a grimoire that Gamma Gary, is it Devil's Dozen or something? I think, if not, it's the wrong book, but it's still by Gamma Gary. And it talks about Mother Green Cap, Mother Red Cap. Like the green is the healing, the red is like, and then there's like the black, which is the poisoner, I think. But it almost, I made connections with that, okay? Chapter 20 is a story by Monk, which I love. It is called Betwixt the Horns, and it is... Oh, I love that story. It's so beautiful. It's a story about a young girl, a very young girl, and she, out of curiosity, she stumbles into the witch's Sabbath, and it's like a coming home type story. It's very, very beautiful. I love this story. I love it. I won't say who Monk is because I don't know if I'm allowed to share, but I will tell you guys that he's someone very dear and close to me, and I love him. So really good story. I love it. I would actually love it if I hear from a solid source Monk will be making it into a guided meditation. Yes, yes, love that. Love it. Yes. Really, really beautiful story. So chapter 21 is the Liber Spiritus, and this is the second part of the book. So we have the Witchflight section, which is the first part. Second part of the book is the Spirit Liber Spiritus. Wow. Liber Spiritus, which is Libro Espiritu, which means Book of Spirits or Spirit Book. And so here, Jasmine has shared spirits. It's a codex of spirits that she's come across or experienced in the other world. And so you might not identify with these at all. You might identify with some. You might not identify with them by their name or the name given again, but you might recognize the energy or the entity. And that is all okay. All of that is okay. Okay, this is again her personal journey and spirit she's come across in the other world. Okay? Victoria Maria. So Victoria Maria is, her element is air, virtues order. Her fetch is the owl. And then you get a little attributes and location in the other world. And so you get that for every spirit, and you also get an image for each spirit, okay, with the description. Now, I will tell you, Jasmine has been open about this in her videos. Her second book, which she's already working on, is going to be an expanded Liber Spiritus. It is going to contain the same spirits, but she's going to be able to expand on a lot of information on each of them. She's also, please follow her. She's also taking like you guys can submit personal stories and things like that, that go with the topic, and with your witch flight experiences and stuff like that. And she's taking submissions till like I think January or like till December, something like that, because by then it's all gonna be like putting everything together, and the book will be out next year. So yes, please follow her on social media and all that. If you connect with this book and connect with her experiences, and you have your own experiences, by all means submit like your story and all that. Really, really cool. Then we go into chapter 22, which is part 3 of the book, which is the recipes. I have to work on mine. I'm working on mine because I want to submit something too. I want to submit something, Mikey. I want to submit something. We'll see, but I for sure want to submit something. I'm excited. I'm doing chores, but I'm listening. I appreciate it. I love you. It's okay. It's okay that you're doing chores. I don't mind. We get like wine recipes, flight baths. Yes, there's an ointment recipe. No, you cannot have it. Buy the book. Dream oil, incense. We get an oil for each realm to work. I call them realms, but it's the kingdoms. The hollow wood oil. We have like there's a few spell work, cake recipe, teas, warding spray, bread. What I love also, the four tools, right, that represent the four kingdoms. I love that there's nothing in this book that you cannot get your hands on. Jasmine's not gonna ask you for, oh well, you need so and so from so and so that's only grown in Buckfuck Egypt. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my god, that's funny. But yeah, so it's very, very much about working with what you have and stuff like that. Very, very simple as well. And so the tools that you do need that she speaks about, she also teaches you how to make them and how to bless them. It's a blessing ritual for your tools as well. And that is the entirety of the book. Towards the back, we also have the moons, each moon of the month, including the blue moon, which is the 13th. And so then you have the ritual of powers, which is the tools, the consecration ritual, a prayer, a prayer to the devil, and a prayer to the dark goddess. And then you have an index for your spirits to find them quickly. She also gives references, really, really good. So I have some of her references already. Hey Mal, Poison Path Herbal is on here. Poison Path Herbal by Michael Colby. Is it Colby? Book review, book review. I am reviewing the Ambrosia's book of Witchflight, Traveling the Other World. So now I'm going to talk about other books I've just gotten, because I have definitely, because of this book, which I have devoured. I have devoured this book. I read it 3 full times. I love it. And I keep going back to it. So I bought some other books that I ordered to continue learning more about the Witch's Sabbath, the Witch's Devil, and about Witch's Flight and the Poison Path and Flying Ointment and stuff like that. So first I'm going to talk with the oldie, about an oldie book that I've had for a while that I love, because this goes hand in hand with Poison Path, and it is the Plant Spirit Familiar by Christopher Pengzak. And this talks about plant spirits and how you are able to connect with them which plant spirit connection goes hand in hand with poison path and flying ointment and things like that. If you are trying to do this for any wrong reasons, that like that's not, it's not gonna go well, you know, or to trip out, like that's not the use of that at all. Like this is very very sacred and very very connecting with these plant spirits, right? And so you have to definitely do your study. By all means, please study, look into everything before you like kill yourself or kill someone, you know, like please make sure you're doing enough study. So this is an oldie book. I think I've shown this on my channel before. I really really love this. It goes hand in hand with the using the. So it says green totems, teachers and healers on the path of the witch, and we have different spiritual elves there. We have an Amanita, Belladonna, trumpet. There's different. Very cool book. Really good read. So the new ones that I got, that one's an oldie. The new ones that I got is the Beneficium by Daniel A. Shulk. It is Magic, Witchcraft, and the Poison Path, second and revised edition. I'm going to read the back real quick. In many esoteric traditions, there exists a corollary between the concept of poisoner and sorcerer, suggesting a sinistral magical kinship, often interchangeable with witchcraft or maledictive magic. Indeed, the use of plant, animal, and mineral toxins is a strand of magic originating in the remotest antiquity and reaching the present day. Beyond its mundane function as an agent of corporeal harm, poison has also served as a gateway of religious ecstasy, occult knowledge, and sensorial aberration, as well as the basis of healing cures. Allied with Samael, the serpent of Eden, whose Hebrew name in some translation is venom of God, this facet of magic wends through the rites of ancient Sumer and Egypt, penetrating European necromancy, alchemy, and the arcane rites of the witch's Sabbath, and modern day folk magic survivals. This second edition of Beneficium, newly expanded, examines the intersection of magic and poison, and exploring the toxicological dimensions of occult power. Then another one I got two books by Roger J. Horn, which I have. No, that's Michael Howard. That's not Roger J. Horn. This is the first two books I ever have of him. He's really really good as well. And this one is A Broom at Midnight, 13 Gates of Witchcraft by Spirit Flight. And this one says, preserved in medieval and early modern witch lore, the image of the witch embarking upon flight has become iconic from a historic and folkloric perspective. In the account of previous ages, however, it was commonly understood that witches flew in spirit form rather than corporeal form, leaving the physical body behind as the practitioner voyaged into the other world to procure knowledge, learn charms, visit boon or bane upon others, and attend the spiritual gathering of the witches' Sabbath. In this unique offering, the author organizes the lore and charms of the transvective arts around 13 central lessons and approaches in methodology, acting as gates through which the practitioner may cross. Some approaches offered here may be familiar to folk and traditional witches, such as via beneficium, way of poison, and via equarium, way of steed, while others, like via imaginibus, is by way of image, and via tempestatis is by way of storm, drawn on historical lore and charms in order to innovate upon old craft while maintaining the spirit that flavors these beloved arts. Just got that one. And then I also got The Witch's Devil, Myth and Lore for Modern Cunning. Distinct from the devil of Satanism and the devil of Christianity, the witch's devil remains a potent figure in the lore of folk and traditional witches today, approaching the enigmatic figure as an inherently syncretic being of many compounded aspects over time. The witch's devil explores his complex symbols, roles, and appearances across the ages. Here, the lore of the devil is unpacked, revealing a host of powerful spiritual entities that can be accessed today by drawing on the threads of myth and folklore. Along this journey, we find the devil's age old connections to trees and plant spirits, the mass of the candles, bestial bodies, the demonic spirits of the grimoires, and the serpent that rebirths the world. We see this role expand and fracture into such titles as Primus Magus, Angel of Poison, First Heretic, Father of Cunning, Bound Spirit of the Abyss, Founder of the Host of Fairy, and the Rex Agnomatus, King of Riddles. We are challenged to re examine our understanding of palmistry. Sorry, I was going to say palmistry, it's psalmistry. We are challenged to re examine our understanding of psalmistry and popish folk magic and witchcraft with a framework of heretical craft grounded in his lore. Most importantly, we are invited to light our own candles of illumination at his altar, to become wise, and to enrich our own magics by learning from his potent and often misunderstood old one. And then last, I just got this one as well, but this is the one I'm currently reading. I'm already beating this book up. I am devouring it. I am only in chapter 2, page 38. And this is by Keldon. Keldon also has another book, before I show this one, called The Crooked Path. He wrote The Crooked Path, and it's an introductory book on traditional witchcraft. And so this one, though, is regarding the Witch's Sabbath, which is why I ordered this one. I definitely want to get the Crooked Path as well, but that's more like actually like practicing. And so, like different rituals and stuff like that, and how like you would practice his tradition of traditional witchcraft with the Witch's Devil and how he incorporates that into ritual and all that. And so, for sure, I want to get that book as well, but because of the subject of Witchflight, I wanted to get this one first. And it's The Witch's Sabbath by Keldon. It says, an exploration of history, folklore, and modern practice. This book provides a comprehensive... Okay, that's someone's review. Never mind. Discover the hidden depths of the Sabbath. Take flight for a mesmerizing exploration of an event long shrouded in fear and mystery, The Witch's Sabbath. Keldon presents an in-depth examination of the Sabbath's historical and folkloric development, as well as its re-emergence within the modern practice of witchcraft. From discussions on the folklore of flight and the event of nocturnal gatherings, to enchanting rituals and recipes, you'll find everything you need to not only understand the nature and legend and of the legendary Sabbath. You'll find everything you need to not only understand the nature of the legendary Sabbath, but also journey there yourself, offering impressive research and compelling stories from across Europe and the early American colonies. This book is the ultimate resource for discovering an often misunderstood and overlooked aspect in witchcraft. So those are other books in the subject that I just got that I'm gonna be reading through and stuff like that. I hope that this opens your perspective a little bit on like what I've been up to and stuff like that. As I read these books, I'm thinking of doing more reviews as well. But please check this out. Please follow Jasmine here on YouTube and on her social medias. Really, really great educator and priestess in the craft. Again, she's a fellow YouTuber here. She's on Instagram, TikTok. This is her first book, Ambrosia's Book of Witchflight, Traveling the Other World. And it is a great recommendation from me, whether you are learning for the first time about Witchflight or you have experience in Witchflight. And again, Witchflight goes hand in hand with astral projection, shamanic journeying, and stuff like that, out of body experiences and stuff like that as well. So it's all very similar, just named differently. It has a different name for everything. Shamanic journey is very specific because of, again, it's more of a shamanic path and stuff like that. But it is, in essence, very very similar, where your spirit is traveling to the other world. Okay, so if you identify with any of those and you're looking for something new and something fresh and someone's personal perspective, about their journey and their experiences, this is a great book for you. Thank you guys so much. I will see you next time. I love you, and I will talk to you later. Bye.